right, you know what time it is. Live from the Bare Muscle Garage, it's time for Fit Crew. What do we got in store for you today? Let's go ahead and share this on screen. So for today's workout, we've got a 16-minute AMRAP for you here. We're going to be doing as many rounds as possible in 16 minutes of single arm devil presses and double unders. And the reps of the devil press are going to go up each round. And we may be looking at this thinking, hey, this looks kind of intimidating. That seems like a lot of devil press and double unders are kind of hard. Let's put all those thoughts to the back of our mind, guys. As always, we're going to warm up really well. And we're going to go through all the options that will allow you to do this workout or your version of it, right where you are, using what you have and doing what you can. But let's go ahead and start this general warm-up. Here we go, guys. Let's get some arm circles going back. Arm circles back. And as you know, my name is Coach Chris. I am a level 3 CrossFit trainer, which means I've logged thousands of hours over many years, helping many people just like you live their best life through health and fitness. Let's switch to arm circles forward. One of the ways I've been privileged to help you guys live your best life is through the On Track program. And when you get on track, you get access to the full program. 6 workouts a week. Potentially being able to see all the workouts in advance, depending on which tier of membership you sign up for, plus access to the Habit Master Challenge, which opens our eyes and helps us to be more aware of our habits. Let's move on to arms across the chest, hug yourself, love yourself. And so if you're on track, what do you appreciate about all these additional features that help you to stay on track? Let's move on to the wrist wave. And while we're doing the wrist wave, let's hear from Twin One. Go ahead and say your name, where you're from, and what do you appreciate the most about being on track?
Hi, I'm Denise, New York. I like the on track sheets that we get ahead of time before the week starts. And there's a lot to like about it. I don't know if I could narrow it down to one. But one thing that I do like is when I work out, there's these little links for the videos that show you the demo videos, and also some of the workouts have like the whole workout like in a whole video. So if you want to work out and you don't want to do it alone, like those videos go through the whole workout with somebody, so you don't feel alone, you feel encouraged, like you're in a class. So I really like that point, and it gets me through the workout and I feel great afterwards.
Definitely. We are never alone when we make full use of all of the tools that we have available to us with the on track sheets. Let's go ahead and move on to some high knees. High knees into chest, or if it works better, we can do some high elbows like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. Go ahead, Mighty Mouse, say your name, where you're from, and what do you appreciate the most about being on track?
Hello, my name is Benicia. I'm from Georgia. What I appreciate about the on track sheets is that you get them ahead of time. You get a whole week's worth, so you get to see the whole layout. And also, I like the where it give you the weight recommends, but also if you don't have like a certain equipment, it give you that another option where you can still do the workout. So you want like, oh, well, I don't have dumbbells. It will give you that option so you can do it and you still can get the same benefit as somebody else who might have the equipment.
Use what you have, do what you can. That's our motto here, and that's fully explained in every single workout. So thank you for bringing that out, Mighty Mouse. Let's go ahead and move on to some calf raises. Up on the toe, back on the heel, up on the toe, back on the heel. Or if it works better, we can do some wrist extensions like this. And while we're doing this, let's hear from Ironman Dean. Go ahead and say your name, where you're from, and what do you appreciate about being on track?
Hi everybody, it's Dean from London, England. I especially like the additional workouts that are provided, and as Mighty Mouse was kind of alluding to the structure. So, you know, you've got a structure of what to do each day. It's not repetitive. It's not the same exercise all the time. You know, it gives you variety and gives you a structure to follow, and it's motivating.
Yes, varied, not random, and there's definitely method to the madness. Even though it's a lot of madness, there's some method, and we can see that method fully fleshed out in the on-track sheet. So thank you for bringing that out, Dee. Let's go ahead and move on to some jumping jacks, or we could do some stepping jacks if we want low impact. And so when you get on track, you get access to the full program so you can get full results. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, please click that link that's in this video, or feel free to message me directly for details. Let's go ahead and take a break from this warm-up, guys, and we're going to move on to the activation phase, which is where we're going to do a couple different moves that are going to help us to get specifically ready for today's workout. The first move we're going to do is reverse plank ups, and let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 reverse plank ups for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then the reverse plank ups are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reverse plank ups together. Now, it could be that doing this off of our wrists on the ground is a bit hard for us, in which case we could do some glute bridges. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 glute bridges for us, where we're laying on our back, squeezing those glutes, getting the hips nice and high each time. But if we're doing the reverse plank up as prescribed, then we're on the ground, those legs out in front of us, and then we are squeezing those glutes, getting the hips as high as we can in the air, getting higher and higher each rep. And so good job here on these reverse plank ups. Next, we're going to roll over and get those calves ready for action. Let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps of the dynamic calf stretch. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then that dynamic calf stretch is actually going to be dynamic elbows like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the dynamic calf stretch together. So similar to that reverse plank up, it could be that doing that off the ground is a bit hard on the wrists, in which case we could do this off of an inclined surface. Let's have Twin One demonstrate a couple reps here. It could be off of a sofa, off a counter, off a dresser. It could even be off the wall, but we're going to get those feet way back and we're going to bend that one knee and pull that back heel into the ground. But if we're doing this off the ground as prescribed, then we're piking those hips up, bending the one knee, pulling the back heel into the ground. And let's not rush this. Let's hold it for about 2 seconds on each side before switching sides to really feel the benefit of that calf and ankle activation. And so good job here on the dynamic calf stretch. Next, we're going to do some burpees. Specifically, let's step them out here. Let's have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps of the burpee, stepping them back and then stepping out of it. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those burpees are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 stepping burpees here, or at least 5 stepping burpees. And then if we want to jump the last 5, we can do that. Now, it could be that getting all the way to the ground is a challenge for us on this burpee, in which case we could do an incline burpee. And let's have Twin One demonstrate here. We'd start with our feet up against that object, and then we're going to take a step back, optionally including that push-up, getting that chest to touch, and then feet back forward, and we clap overhead. But if we're doing this as prescribed, like Ironman Dean's favorite move here, the burpee, we're going to get the chest and thighs all the way to the ground. And then we're going to take a deep breath in when the chest is on the ground so that we can brace that core. And we're going to lead with the hips on the way up. Sometimes people talk about, oh, burpees get my lower back going. That's because we have to brace that core and lead with the hips on the way up. And that's what's going to save that midline. So good job here on these burpees. What I'd like everyone to do now is let's go ahead and grab a light dumbbell if you have one. By light, I mean 10 pounds or less, 5 kilos or less. And if we don't have a light dumbbell, then any light common household item will do. It could be a shoe, it could be a pillow, it could be a teddy bear, it could be an empty bottle. Whatever the case, we always warm up super light before we go heavy, if at all. So with this light dumbbell in hand, we're going to do some single dumbbell deadlifts with the object starting in between the feet. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then those dumbbell deadlifts are going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 dumbbell deadlifts, 5 with each arm. So a couple things to keep in mind. That dumbbell is going to start on the ground in between the feet, and we're going to have those hips super low, chest up, shoulders back, and we're looking straight ahead. And we're going to take a deep breath in and brace that core as we drive the ground away, getting the shoulders back at the top of the movement. And then we're going to go all the way back down, making sure to tap the ground with both heads of the dumbbell each and every time in order to get us ready for the movement that we're going to be doing later. And so good job here on these deadlifts. Next, we're going to do some strict press. Let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the strict press for us. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then that single dumbbell strict press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 reps of the strict press together, 5 on each arm. So a couple things to keep in mind here. That dumbbell is going to start on the shoulder, and that elbow is going to be pointing forward, and we're going to have the feet close together. Take a deep breath in to brace that core, and we're going to drive that all the way up, getting that bicep into the ear at the top before switching sides. And we want to make sure to keep a nice tight core there so we avoid any twisting or leaning. And so good job here on these strict press. Next, we're going to do some power snatches. Specifically, we're going to do some muscle snatches. And let's go ahead and have twin one demonstrate 2 reps of the muscle snatch for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then that muscle snatch is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 10 reps of the muscle snatch together, 5 with each arm. And so that muscle snatch is going to start with a dumbbell on the ground in between the feet. And then we're going to use the power of the legs to jump that up and punch it back. But notice we're doing just one drive and we're not re-dipping under. This is in order to get us ready for the full movement that we're going to be doing later. And so just one jump, no re-dip under it. We are extending those hips and those legs, punching that bicep into the ear to finish off the movement at the top. And so good job here on this muscle snatch. Next, what I'd like you to do is let's go ahead and grab a jump rope if you have one. If we don't have a jump rope, then anything else that could serve as a jump rope might work, as long as, of course, we feel safe using it and it's not going to be unsafe in case we miss and hit ourselves. So it should be a nice material. Sometimes people use a long iPhone charging cord that's coated really nice and it doesn't hurt too much. But whatever the case, even if we don't have a jump rope, we can do some jumping jacks or some other body weight modification, and which we'll go through in a minute. So with this jump rope in hand, let's now do some singles, and let's have Twin One demonstrate 10 singles for us. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we can do the seated version of the jumping jacks, which is like this. So let's everyone join in and let's do 30 singles. Now, if we happen not to have a jump rope, then we can do some jumping jacks. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate a couple reps of the jumping jacks for us. And so we're going to be jumping, clapping those hands overhead. If that's a lot of high impact, then we could do stepping jacks, which is stepping to the side and clapping overhead like that. And these are a couple different options for us. But if we have that jump rope, then a couple things to keep in mind. We are keeping those elbows tucked in close to the body, and we want to focus on the flick of the wrist, and we definitely want to use more the power of the wrist instead of flailing those arms and those legs. And so every single time we want to have a nice deliberate wrist flick. And so good job on these jumping jacks or jump rope or whatever we choose to do here. Well, that is it for the activation phase. Now we're going to move on to the movement prep, which is where we're going to practice specifically the two movements that we're doing in today's workout. The first move is going to be the single arm devil press. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps of that devil press for us, alternating arms. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then that single arm devil press is going to look like this. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 reps of that single arm devil press for us. Now, it could be that getting the chest and thighs all the way to the ground is a bit of a challenge for us, in which case we may choose to do the devil press just getting back to the plank position. Let's have Twin One demonstrate 2 reps here where we get those hands on the ground, get back just to the plank, and then finish off the swing and press overhead. Or it could be that getting all the way down is a challenge even to the plank position, in which case we can modify to doing simply those muscle snatches, starting from the ground and then punching that overhead. And we can just leave the burpee portion out of it if that's what we choose to do today. But if we are doing this from the ground as prescribed, we can see that this single arm devil press takes everyone's favorite movement, which is the burpee, and then adds a dumbbell to it. So everything we talked about with the burpee, getting the chest and thighs on the ground, taking a deep breath in to brace that core, leading with the hips on the way up. And then additionally, we want to get that weight back between the legs in order to harness the power of the glutes and the power of that posterior chain to help power that overhead at the top of the movement. And I recommend alternating arms each time, but you can certainly choose to do 5 or 10 reps straight on one arm before switching sides. So good job here on this devil press, whatever version is good for us. The second move that we're doing in today's workout is double unders. So let's grab that jump rope. Let's take a deep breath and stay calm. If you've done these before, you know what I'm talking about. But the most important thing about double unders is realizing we are in control of our emotions and reactions, no matter what the rope does to us. And Twin One is going to demonstrate this very well right now with a couple double unders. Now, it could be that, okay, I don't have a rope and I want to do something a little bit more challenging than jumping jacks. In which case, we may choose to do some jumping thigh slaps. And let's go ahead and have Twin One demonstrate a couple reps here. We can either do a single jumping thigh slap, or we could do a double thigh slap, meaning we jump and slap twice, which is incidentally a good practice drill, whether we have a rope or not. This helps us to get that wrist rhythm for the double unders. And if we are doing this from the seated position, then we can do a double clap overhead for the double unders, if we so choose. Otherwise, a single clap might be better for us as well. So let's everyone join in here and let's do 10 double unders, or at least 10 honest attempts at getting a double under. Now, we're all in different places of our double under journey. It could be that we're connecting good sets of 10 or more in a row, or it could be that we're still finding our rhythm, in which case the goal is maybe to do some doubles with some singles thrown in between. We could do like dub, single, dub, single, dub, single, or perhaps even more singles thrown in between. But the main thing is to just keep practicing and to find that rhythm for ourselves. But if we're doing this without a rope as well, let's definitely pick the version that's sufficiently challenging for us. And of course, those jumping jacks or stepping jacks are also an option as well. Well, now it's ramp up time. If you've been doing this program long enough to start earning badges, and you'd like to add some weight to that devil press to do either the scaled, intermediate, or RX weight, then let's start to gradually add some weight, doing some practice sets of about 4 to 6 reps at a time, adding a little bit of weight each time until we get to the weight that we want to use for our division. And there's no need to rush this. We have time to do at least 3 to 4 practice sets before we start the clock here. But if we have not earned our first badge, or we're just getting back into this after a long time off, then please, let's not add any weight. That super light weight that we were just using in the warm-up is going to be more than enough for us today. Seriously. It's very important that we have the right form and consistency with all our habits, as evidenced by earning that badge, before we've earned the right to add or reintroduce intensity, such as by adding weight or going fast. And whether we're adding weight or not, let's pay close attention to the following checklist. Number 1, please make sure your device is fully charged or plugged in so we can get through this whole workout without losing you. Number 2, let's grab some water. Let's take a sip. Let's make sure we got our water nearby so we can take a sip as needed all throughout the workout. Number 3, I'm going to give everyone a 3, 2, 1, go countdown. And that's how you can synchronize your timer with mine if you choose to use one. Number 4, music. Super important, especially on a workout like today that is not a short workout. We want to make sure that we've got the tunes that are going to keep us motivated to keep pushing forward all throughout the minute after minute until these minutes are done. So I can guarantee your taste in music is better than mine. What do you have on your playlist? If you haven't given it some thought, let's do that right now. You can blast your music as loud as you want, as long as you can still hear me helping you throughout the workout. And lastly, how are we keeping track of these rounds? There's a lot of moving parts going on today. The reps are going up for one of the moves, staying the same for the other one. It is easy to lose track of where we are. We get that. But experienced fit crew members know that it's good to have some type of system in place, such as a scorecard or something else, to help you keep track of where you are without getting lost. So if you came prepared, if you're a teacher's pet like Mighty Mouse, winning the Teacher's Pet Award today, and we've got Twin One as well with the Whiteboard Award. We've got Beatrice ready digitally, and then of course we've got DNA with the handwriting award. That Dean's handwriting keeps getting better and better each time. Let's go ahead and take a teacher's pet picture just to show how prepared you are. Teacher's pet picture in 3, 2, 1. Awesome. I'm going to bring the workout back on screen one more time here, and then we'll get going. So in just about a minute, we are going to start this timer, and we're about to do this Wacky Wednesday workout, which is a 16-minute AMRAP. As many rounds as possible in 16 minutes of single dumbbell devil presses and double unders. The single dumbbell devil press, we're going to start with 10 reps in the first round and then do 50 double unders. And then we're going to do 20 devil presses in the second round, followed by 50 double unders. And then 30 devil presses in the third round, followed by 50 double unders. And so on and so forth in this pattern. We're going to keep adding 10 reps of the devil press each round while we do the same number of 50 double unders each round. Let's remember on the devil press, we are not adding weight unless we've been earning badges. The move is going to be hard enough as it is. Trust me on this. Only if we've been earning badges, then we can add weight to the extent that we feel like we can still knock out a good 5 to 10 in a row without stopping. And on these double unders, maybe 50 is a big number each round. I get that. So if we're not doing 50, maybe we can choose to do 20 double unders each round. And optionally, we can do 30 singles after that if we feel we want to complete the number of 50. But if the dubs are not dubbing at all, then we can just do 50 singles each round and call it a day. Just working on our consistency. I'd like for us to work on unbroken sets of 50. And that'll be a good indicator that we're ready to start working on those double unders. And if we don't have a jump rope, then we're doing 50 of whatever other bodyweight movement is good for us. We can do 50 jumping jacks. We can do 50 jumping thigh slaps, either the single or double thigh slap, whatever is good for us. And of course, the stepping jack as well. So your score is going to be the amount of rounds you get done in these 16 minutes of the single dumbbell devil press and the double unders, increasing reps on the devil press by 10 each round. So if you are good to go, give me a thumbs up over here and we'll get this started. I'm going to give us a 10-second countdown, and then I'm going to highlight Twin One to get us going. So here we go, guys. 10, Devil press. 50 dubs or singles or whatever we choose to do there. Going up by 10 devil press each round. 10 seconds. Let's get ready. 3, 2, 1, go. And we are off on these devil press. Jumping those feet back. Taking a deep breath in at the bottom, bracing the core, leading with the hips on the way up. Let's save that midline. Let's save that lower back. And let's harness the power of the glutes and the hamstrings. On the way up, we're throwing that dumbbell back between the legs while keeping the chest up, of course, but then using the power of the legs to help us to power that overhead. And after we've done the 10 devil press each round, or on that first round, we're going to move on to the 50 of whatever we choose to do. Either 50 double unders, or it could be 20 double unders, followed by 30 singles. Or it could be 50 singles. Whatever version of that works better for us. So twin one, about to grab that rope. We've got Mighty Mouse on some jumping jacks. We've got Iron Man Dean looking super happy on these jumping jacks. And we've got Beatrice choosing to do some thigh slaps there, although it's kind of blurred there, Beatrice. I think your video setting could be changed if you get a chance. But we've got twin one staying calm and cool, hitting some dubs. Nice big set of dubs there. So nice work there, twin one. Iron Man Dean hitting some serious jumping jacks, doing some floor renovation. So let's make sure that, of course, we're very aware of our surroundings. But nice work here, guys. And we're keeping the double unders the same each round in order to get some consistent practice on that particular number. And so the double under is still a skill move for many of us that requires some practice. And so each round we're getting a good amount of practice, and of course safety first, twin one, tying that lace. But then the increasing reps on the devil press, quite honestly, is just training our mental toughness. And so we're going into this set of 20. The set of 10 may seem like, okay, that was a good start here. The 20 is where it's really going to start to set in. And so let's not let that get to ourselves mentally. Let's just do one rep at a time, moving nice and steady, taking breaks as needed. Maybe we can hit a big set of 12 and then 8 to finish. Or maybe we can choose to do a 10-6-4. We do 10 of these devil press, take a couple breaths, then hit a set of 6 followed by 4. And we'll be done with this 20 before we know it. And as we know, this program trains us not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. So how do we feel when we get progressively higher reps each set? We just focus on what we can do. We stay in the moment. We work to our level of capacity. We play our game. And let's remember the points of performance here. We're getting all the way down, taking a deep breath in on the ground, throwing that back, punching that out overhead. But let's remember to keep the chest up there, even as we're throwing that dumbbell back, especially as we're throwing that dumbbell back. We're keeping the chest up, shoulders back, and we are keeping a nice upright torso to save that midline. And we got Mighty Mouse already on this second set of jumping jacks here. Beatrice as well. And so Beatrice, your camera is still blurry. I don't know if you see that, but if we could fix that, yeah, we can see you a little bit better now. Maybe we could change that video setting. Take off the blur the background setting. But Twin One just about finishing off this second set of Devil Press. Iron Man Dean as well. About to head into another set of jumping jacks. So there goes Iron Man Dean. And let's get that full range of motion there, Dean. Let's really clap over. There we go. Clapping overhead. Mighty Mouse as well. Hitting that clap. Twin One, taking a breath. Hitting some calm double unders. Flick that wrist hard. Let's find that rhythm. Hitting some dubs. And nice work here, guys. We're staying calm, cool, collected, getting through these dubs and singles, or some combination thereof. And we got Mighty Mouse on this round of 30. This is the round that's really going to test our mental toughness. So whenever we get to a set of 30, mentally, I like to break that up into 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, depending on whatever the movement is. Sometimes I can break out a big set of 10, 15 out the gate, or maybe even all 30, depending on what it is. But for a move like this Devil Press, it may be helpful to think of it in 5 smaller sets, descending each time so that it's not the same each time. So we got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And we could take a little breather after each of those sets, and then we'll be through that 30 before we know it. So let's do what we got to do here, guys. However we decide to break this up, let's just stay focused. Let's stay in the game. Let's remember the points of performance. Getting all the way down. Keeping the chest up on the way up. Making sure to breathe and brace. Leading with the hips. We don't need to fire up that lower back. If we lead with the hips, bracing that core each time, that's what's going to help us to hit these big sets here and to be able to come back tomorrow. And time flies when we're having fun. We are more than halfway through this thing, but we know in a workout with a rep scheme like this one, it can really challenge us. But let's just remember, we're not doing this alone. We're with our Fit Crew family. We're moving at our pace. We're getting through these. And notice that very smart technique there. So Twin One starting to step out of the Devil Press. That's a good way to manage that heart rate. The jumping back and the jumping out can definitely spike that heart rate. So even if we jump those feet back, hey, maybe we step out of it before throwing that dumbbell back, and we can keep hitting nice and steady sets here, working our way up the ladder. This set of 30 is no joke here. For most of us, this is the set that most of us can hope to complete. And then along with, of course, with those double unders there. And then maybe we can get as many Devil Press as we can into the round of 40. And that's what we consider to be our main goal for today. Like, hey, how many did I get into the round of 40? We got Beatrice on some jumping jacks here. So let's do this thing. Mighty Mouse on some devil press. We are making our way through the 30 here, guys. Moving nice and steady, taking the breathers as needed. But if we have a nice, good strategy and a good mental game, this 30 will be over before we know it. We call it the dirty 30 in most of these workouts that have a 30 in there. But we are getting through it. Getting down, getting back up, saving that lower back, leading with the hips. Let's really make sure we lock that arm out at the top there, Dean. Let's get that arm nice and straight. Boom, much better. Bicep into the ear. As we get tired, it's easy to lose focus, but then yes, much better. We always want to remember full range of motion, good form. That's what gets us the results that we're signed up for here in Fit Crew. And we got less than 5 minutes left here, guys. So we're still holding on here. We're not quite going to empty the tank yet. We'll save that for the last 2 or 3 minutes. But this is just a reminder not to slip off too much. It's easy to kind of lose where we are in the workout. What am I doing? Why am I doing this? But let's just stay in the game. Let's stay focused. Let's dig deep. Let's use the power of motivation to keep us pushing. We got Mighty Mouse on these jumping jacks here. Iron Man Dean on some jumping jacks. Beatrice flying through some devil press here. And there goes Twin One, about to hit this next set of dubs. So staying calm, taking that breath, one of the most important first steps we can take. And let's remember to keep it in a nice strong flick of the wrist. We are getting through these here, guys. Nice steady pace. Breathing through it, pushing through it. And just like that, guys, we are down to the 3-minute warning. So we've been pacing ourselves this whole time. This is where we really see what we're made of. And we see if we can empty the tank. We have that AMRAP mentality. So let's stay with it. For most of us, our goal is, okay, how many can I get into this round of 40? It's easy to just lay down on the ground, but there's only a couple minutes left here. We want to leave no regrets. We want to know we did every single rep that we could. So let's attack this. Let's get through this together as a Fit Crew family. Hitting these devil press, hitting these dubs, doing what we can, moving at our pace. Hey, it could be that some of us even finish the 40 devil press and then we get to start that round of dubs over there. That would be incredible. But no matter what, let's just keep moving well. Let's keep locking that out there. Mighty Mouse at the top. There we go. Full punch. Less than 90 seconds left here, guys. This is where we redline. This is where we just go, go, go. We empty that tank. We can do anything for 90 seconds. So let's push. We have the power of our Fit Crew family. We have the power of our Fit Crew mascots. Kirby cheering us on. Let's do it. Less than a minute here, guys. Rep after rep after rep, moving nice and steady. Just about 30 seconds. We can get down, we can get back up. We can get down, we can get back up. Throwing it back, punching it up. 20 seconds. We are doing it. We are moving it. 10 seconds left here, guys. Get another rep. Get another rep. 3, 2, 1. And time. Man. 16 minutes. And Iron Man Dean couldn't be happier. Good work over there, Dean. Nice work, Mighty Mouse. Let's see that victory dance, Mighty Mouse. And then, of course, Twin One always loves a little victory dance. Yeah, we definitely went through it here, guys, but you know what? We are at the best part, which is the cool down stretch. This stretch is super important to help us fight soreness, increase flexibility, so we can come back day after day, staying consistent and committed. So the first stretch that we're going to do today, especially because of all the jumping, is the Samson stretch. And the way the Samson stretch works is we actually start in a standing position, and then we're going to hit a nice long lunge like this with those arms up at the top. And then optionally, we can twist toward that front knee as well, turning that back palm upward. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we can just twist toward the right, holding on to whatever we need to. But while we're doing this, let's reflect on the workout. Let's do some high-low buffalo. So, high. What is one thing you feel you did well in the workout today? Low. What is something you want to do better the next time it shows up? And buffalo. What is something that surprised you about the workout today? While we're thinking about that, let's switch from the Samson into a split. We're going to shift those hips back, straighten out this leg, and we are going to get the chest in as close as we can to that knee. And while we're over here, let's hear first from Twin One. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're going to get that right elbow up and pull as far back as we can. But what is your high-low buffalo, Twin One?
So I didn't think anything could outbeat how much I dislike the dubs, because I don't have them yet. But my high were the dubs today, because the low were those double presses. They killed me. By the time I get to the dubs, I could barely try getting dubs. I was so tired. The buffalo was, the WOD really took me by surprise. Like, I was dying, but I kept trying to push through.
Never ceases to amaze. Simple doesn't mean easy, but hey, you pushed, you brought it, and you saw some progress in all regards in the workout today. So bigger sets of dubs, and then of course, less meltdown, right, on the devil press, but good job. Let's go ahead and switch to Samson stretch on the other side. So we're getting the other knee forward with those arms up like this. Optionally, we can twist toward that knee and turn that back palm upward. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Dean. And if we're doing this from the seated position, then we could twist toward this knee, or we could twist toward the left, holding on to whatever we need to. But what is your high-low buffalo, Dean?
So the high was I did it. The low. So obviously the dumbbell devil press. I had to, like, after about 20, I think I was done. So I had to break up the sets and change the weight to a lighter weight. The buffalo, I need to learn to skip. So I can practice those double unders. So I'm just doing jumping jacks at the moment, but it was a good workout.
And I'll tell you what, you use what you have, you do what you can, and yeah, learning how to jump rope or skip as you call it is a cool skill to learn. And the one thing I will add, which I forgot to mention earlier, hopefully all of you who just did the workout right now kept this in mind, but jump roping definitely is good to wear some shoes. We know that. I know you love your barefoot workouts over there, Ironman Dean. But something that's going to help with the jump ropes is definitely having some shoes as well to protect the feet. But either way, awesome job over there. And let's now switch to the split on this side. So we're going to shift those hips back, straighten out the left leg, and lower this chest in toward that knee. And while we're on this side, let's hear from Mighty Mouse. And if we're doing this from the seated position, we're getting the other elbow up and pulling back like this. But what is your high-low buffalo, Mighty Mouse?
My high was the jumping jacks. I really didn't have a low, but my buffalo was how I made it to the round of. I made 32 in the round of 40, so I was almost there doing the devil presses. But yeah, it was kind of taking a toll on me. This workout really was a real killer. I'm sweating real bad, so it was a good workout.
I think we found a new favorite move for you, right, Mighty Mouse? I think you love that devil press almost as much as Twin One loves the mountain climber plank shoulder taps. But good job there, and way to attack it. Well, that's our WOD. That's our stretch. That's our high-low buffalo. And we're just missing one thing, that sweaty selfie. Because does this count if we don't take that selfie? Let's flex on the camera here, guys. And let's take this selfie. Sweaty selfie in 3, 2, 1. And crazy face. And let's put the fists in the middle for the cheer. On 3, 2 claps. Fit crew. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you guys so much. If you enjoy this program, then please give this channel a subscribe, a like, and a share. Thank you very much, and see you next time.